what's going on? It's Dr. Gonzo Boogie here again. This is going to be another VHS update, and I'm hoping I'll also be able to get my DVD update posted by the end of this week. Usually I do both videos together. I'll do a VHS and DVD video at the same time. But this time around I actually have so many DVDs to show, a little over 30, that I figured I'd split the two videos up just to make it a little bit easier for me to film. So this video is just the VHS update, but like I said, I'm hoping at least by the end of the week, if not next week, I'll be able to get the DVD update up on YouTube also. So I'll just start digging right in here to these VHSs, because I also have a pretty good amount of VHS to show here. Some of these I've already showed in other videos, I think one or two of them, but still I figured I would show them in here just in case if everyone hasn't seen those who might be checking out this video. But first up we have Videodrome, which I'm super excited about. This is probably my best pickup all week. Definitely my best VHS pickup all week, if not one of my best pickups just in general all week, because Videodrome is just one of those movies I've always wanted to own on tape, because if you've seen this movie, like VHS tapes have like a lot to do with the story and the plot of this movie. So I mean, in the movie they use Betamax, but I mean VHS is like as close as you can get, because I really don't even think you can get this movie on Betamax. It would be super awesome if you could, but I've looked it up on eBay and on Google and I couldn't find a copy or a picture of a copy, but I could be wrong. If someone knows about Videodrome on Betamax, definitely let me know, because that's something I'm really looking to buy. But this is something I've been wanting to get for a while now, because I love this movie. This is one of my favorite science fiction movies ever. David Cronenberg's one of my favorite directors ever. Debbie Harry stars in this, and she's one of my favorite like actresses and singers ever. So this is just one of my favorite movies ever, and I just love everything about it. And I've been wanting to get this on tape for years now. So this was really awesome to find this at Goodwill for $1. So this is one of the best finds I've found at Goodwill in a long time, and it still had the plastic on it. The bottom was cut, but you know, the plastic was still on it. So this is just great all around. And I also picked up at that same Goodwill, I picked up a bunch of stuff from there. Pretty much everything here I think I picked up at Goodwill. A couple things I picked up at Savers, but all these are thrift store pickups, these VHS tapes here. And next up, at the same thrift store, I picked up Scanners, which is also a David Cronenberg film, and one of my favorites. And this is just an awesome looking tape again, and just a really awesome movie. Just really crazy, just like Cronenberg's known for. His science fiction movies are really weird, and this is just another great one that he's put out. I love the cover for this one. This is another tape I've been wanting for a while. I didn't want this as bad as the Videodrome one, but this is just another tape I have been looking for a while. And on Amazon, it doesn't go for too cheap. You know, for getting it for $1, it's a really good deal. And next up here is actually a really weird movie that I was reading about recently, and I actually found at Goodwill on VHS, which is The Devils, which is like an early 70s like possession type film. I know it has something to do with you know, demons and devils, obviously, with the name, and it has something to do with possession and nuns, and it just seems like this is just crazy. This movie just seems really crazy. It's got a lot of you know, just weird things. I think it has some like nun orgies and, you know, just other just crazy things that you see in like some exploitation movies from the 70s. And then next up I have Dracula Has Risen from the Grave, which is a Hammer film. So I added to my Hammer horror collection, which is really cool. And this movie's great also. I own this on DVD and I've seen it a dozen times. The Hammer horror movies I just love watching over and over again, especially around Halloween time. And this is just a really, you know, fun one, like all of them. And, you know, I'd recommend this one to anyone who hasn't really seen any of the Hammer films, or if you're, you know, looking for something to check out. This is definitely one to watch. Dracula Has Risen from the Grave. And just really cool cover artwork here. And I'm always just really excited whenever I can add to my Hammer collection. Alright, next up here I have some Universal Monster, the Classic Collection editions on tape. I picked up a bunch of these at Goodwill. They had a whole bunch of them, and you know, I picked up all the ones I didn't have. And these are from the Classic Collection that was put out in the 90s, if I remember right. And these are just great. Yeah, 92. These tapes are just great. They just look cool. They look very uniform together. And this is Son of Frankenstein, which is one of the better Frankenstein sequels. Really good if you haven't seen this one and you like, you know, the first Frankenstein or Bride of Frankenstein. This is also a really good sequel in the series. And it's got Bela Lugosi and Boris Karloff in it. That's always great when both of those guys are in a movie together. And I would have to say I think this is one of my favorites with both of them in it. Like, they're really good in The Raven and The Black Cat, and you know, they were in a bunch of other movies together too. But this is, I think, one of my favorites with them together, because they interact with each other really well, and their characters are both really like really good in this movie. This is Son of Frankenstein, and then also in the Classic Monsters collection I picked up Frankenstein Meets Wolfman, and all these were still in the wrapper, just really nice. You know, the bottom's cut again, so these must have all been from like the same guy's collection. But these are just really nice tapes, and this one's great. I love Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman. Just one of the best and epic you know, battle movies of all time in monster history. You can't really beat this, you know. It's just great, you know, other than King Kong Godzilla, but this is just even better in my mind. And then House of Frankenstein, which is again really cool. This is another monster like brawl movie. It has all the monsters in it, even though their stories don't really interact. Like, each monster has its own separate story, and not too much interaction is done between the monsters, if any at all. I actually can't remember this one too well, but I've seen all these Universal Monster movies dozens of times. I just love watching these, especially around Halloween time, just like the Hammer horror films. And again, I just love the design and layout of these Classic Collection editions of the Universal Monster. Definitely the way to pick these up on tape if you're looking to buy these. I have a bunch now, and one day I want to do a video where I just show all my Universal Monster tapes off. So if anyone would be interested in watching that, definitely leave a comment below. And I also picked up The Wolfman, which is another great film. Lon Chaney Jr. is in this one. And I just love all these Universal Monster movies, so, you know, and the packaging design is just great on all these. And then last for the Universal Monsters is actually one that I had never seen, and I was extremely excited to finally buy, which is The Island of Lost Souls. Which this one is used to be hard to find on DVD, but they just released like a Criterion Collection edition of this a couple of years ago. But this is a really good, like, early 30s Universal Monster movie. You know, it's different in the sense because it's more of like an action adventure movie, but they also included other movies like that in the Classic Collection. So that's why I really like this Classic Collection line, because it included anything that even came close to like a Universal Monster movie. And this actually has Bela Lugosi in it. He plays like the leader of Dr. Moreau's you know, like beast people, and it's just, this is a really good good movie, and it's you know, adapted from the book by H.G. Wells, which is really cool. I own some of his books on book, and I've read them back in high school. I haven't read them in a while, but I used to love some of his science fiction stuff. And again, just I would highly recommend this one for anyone who hasn't seen this. The main character, the guy in the front with the mustache thing, he really stole every scene he was in this movie. I actually don't know his name in this. It probably says it on the back, but I'm not sure which one is his, and I don't want to, you know, mix them up right now. But you know, he really stole almost every scene he was in. I thought he did a great job in this. Just really good movie, and I would recommend this to anyone who's a fan of, you know, classic monster, like, adventure type movies. like King Kong and stuff like that. And next up here is Dawn of the Dead, which I showed this in my Romero zombie trilogy video. So if you want to hear me talk a little bit more about it, I talk about it more in that video. But this is a really cool tape, HBO video. It was released sometime in the 80s, I'm guessing. Just really cool. Like I said, I talk a little bit more about this in that video if you want to check that out. And next up here is a cool copy of The Evil Dead. This is limited edition on tape. And I also talk more about this in a video I posted up recently where I talk about all my Evil Dead tapes. So you can also check that one out too if you want to hear a little bit more about this tape here. Because this comes with a really good booklet here. I'll show real quick. Called The Evil Dead Journal, which really goes like in depth into the making of the movie, where it's like a journal written by I think Sam Raimi, and he just goes through it, how like when they made the movie, the days, you know, sometimes what hours they did it on during the days, at like what time, stuff like that. Just really cool. And in that video where I show all my Evil Dead tapes, I go into the booklet a little bit more and show some of the pictures off that are inside of it. So you know, you can check that one out too if you want to see a little bit more about this. I'll put the link for those two videos below. And next up here is Judd on DVD. And this is really cool. I actually used to have this on DVD, Anchor Bay, but I don't anymore, so I figured I would you know, pick this up if I ever saw it again. And I saw it on tape at a Goodwill a while ago. It actually might have been a Savers that I saw this, I can't remember, but I picked this up at a thrift store probably you know, 2-3 weeks ago. And you know, just cool. I always like finding you know, horror movies that you don't normally come by, or don't normally find at thrift stores. Like something like this is really cool. And you know, this movie's pretty cool. It's been a while since I've seen it, but last time I saw it was when I owned it on DVD, which was probably like a year or two ago. And I always remembered it was pretty good. You know, nothing really great. I remember it was kind of slow, and they don't really show the Chud alien monsters all that much. Like every once in a while they'll show like a real quick glimpse of, you know, like a hand or something. But you know, other than that, I remember it was you know, a pretty decent cheesy horror flick. So that's Chud. And then next up here, for the last for all the horror movies, is White Zombie, the classic with Bela Lugosi from 1931, I think, or 1932. It was early on, like right after Lugosi did Dracula or something like that this movie came out. I can't remember my Lugosi facts too good right now, but this is one of his movies that came out around when Dracula came out. And this was just cool. I thought the cover for this was pretty cool, which was the main reason I picked this one up. And I don't really have a copy of White Zombie right now. I had another tape. The tape was kind of beat up, so I figured I would pick this one up just to replace that copy. And it's actually kind of weird. The label here doesn't say White Zombie on it at all. It's like kind of weird. I actually had to put it in my VHS player just to make sure it actually had the movie on it, and it does. It's like a really bad quality print of the movie, but that's what you get a lot of times with these public domain films. But still, White Zombie is one of those movies that I actually don't mind watching a bad print copy of, because almost every time I've seen this movie, it's been like a horrible like print of it, and you know, it's just kind of what I'm used to seeing now when I see White Zombie. Alright, next up here we actually have two non-horror movies. So this is pretty much just a whole horror VHS update. But I picked up two other movies that weren't horror movies at the thrift stores. And first I picked up Rambo, First Blood Part 2, which, you know, I've always been a fan of the first Rambo movie, First Blood. I just think it's a really good movie, you know, well written, and it's also just a really good action movie at the same time, in my opinion. And the sequel I've never been as big of a fan of, but I always like to watch it whenever I do watch the first one. So I have the first one on tape, so I figured I would pick this up, you know. So next time I watch the first one on tape, I can watch the sequel too. And eventually I will pick these up on DVD. I've owned the Rambo films on DVD before, and I'm just not in a big rush right now to buy them right back, because like I said, I have them on tape right now anyways. And these are films that I actually kind of like to watch on tape, like cheesy 80s action films. They're like meant to be watched on tape. And you know, I'm pretty sure most people have seen the Rambo films, at least the first two. And then last here from my VHS update is a James Woods film called Cop, which you know, pretty generic name, pretty generic cover there. Just James Woods' face slapped across the whole cover there, and you gotta love the name, just Cop. But I just thought this seemed interesting. I love James Woods' acting in Videodrome. He did a great job. And since I've been just a huge fan of Videodrome, I've always wanted to see more of his movies. So you know, I just figured I'd pick this one up, check out just another film he was in. I haven't seen this yet, but I plan on watching this soon. I might watch this one tonight actually. But what really made this what really made me pick this one up was the quote from Playboy magazine on here, which says he makes Dirty Harry look laid back in this movie. So that seems interesting to me. James Woods is probably just like, you know, a cop going around like beating people up, trying to solve like I guess he's trying to catch a serial killer. So this just seems like a cool movie. Just definitely like a Dirty Harry type film. So looking forward to checking this one out soon. And that actually is the update right there. And like I said, I should have the DVD update put up soon too. If not by the end of this week, sometime next week I'll try to get that up. And it's going to be a huge update, my biggest yet for DVDs and everything. So, you know, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. You know, leave a comment or give a thumbs up, and thanks for watching.